to my channel. Today we're gonna do story time / mukbang. And today as my story time, we're gonna talk about how I came out of the closet and how I met Aaliyah, the person who I'm with. So yeah, let's just start with the story time and the mukbang. As the mukbang, I bought sushi and ramen. Oh my gosh, I'm over here scratching my holes before I eat. But so we got sushi with ramen and alamame. So as my sushi choice, I got crunchyroll, and then I got spicy ramen. I got garlic alamame. The garlic sauce is in here, and this is the sauce for my ramen. And then this is my favorite one. I know it's basic, but I love it. Hand roll California roll. And for all this I I bought more because I had to feed my lovely co-star, and she's the person who works in the background. So I don't know how to use chopsticks, so I'm using spoon and fork. So let's go with the story. Let's start with the story. As my drink choices, I got aloe vera drink. I don't know if you guys drink this, but 10 out of 10. Oops. My favorite drink all time. Like literally all time. Let's start with the story. So basically, I'm gonna say how I knew I was into girls when I came out and how I met Aaliyah, okay? So basically, how it started, I was probably like 12 or young, like way younger. I think I was in 3rd, 4th grade. And so I had this friend who lived like across the street from me. Her name, let's call her C. So she lived across the street from me, and we were really close friends. My dad would literally like let me like go over to her house and be hang out with her. You know what girls do, play around, like soccer, what friends do. So yeah, so I went to her house, and she had a neighbor. And at the time, we were all 3 of us would hang out. But at that day, I guess the neighbor couldn't come out. Hold on, let me take a sip. So she couldn't come out. So it was just me and her, C. And we were at her house, we were watching TV, whatever. And she asked me as a joke, and I respond to her as a joke at the time because I didn't know any meaning of all that, was LGBTQ or being on that phrase. So she was like, have you seen that, basically she was talking about liking girls and stuff, and I didn't know anything about it. So she was like, are you into girls? And I was like, no, I was like, no. But then I was like, let me go on with the joke. And I was like, yeah, I'm into girls. And then she was like, no, you're not. And I was like, I am. And then she was like, no, you're not. And I was like, but I am. And we kept going back and forth. Oh my God, sorry. We kept going back and forth. And then she's like, prove it. Prove that you're into girls. And then I was just like, what the hell? Okay. So I was like, how the heck do I prove that I'm into girls? So she was like, well, kiss me. Give me a kiss. No, I'm going to take a little chew on this. And I have my little mic, so. And I think an hour already passed. So I was like, okay, oh my gosh, food keeps coming out. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I guess she was hiding from her mom, or I don't know who. So she put the covers over us. Kids, do not do this. What's it called when I don't condone this or nothing. It just, you know? Okay. So she was like, oh, like, prove it. So I gave her a kiss. And I just, like, you know? And then I was like, oh, like, what the heck? And then my dad went to go pick me up, like, at the door. Like, he knocked. And we were in the living room. So I was like, oh, like, crap, you know? So I got up so fast because I was scared. Because I was like, oh, like, what if my dad saw me, you know? So I ran to the door and I was like, oh, like, hola, pa. And he was like, oh, like, I'm ready to pick you up. It's already getting darker. So I was like, oh, okay, like, you know? So I was like, okay, you know? So I got out. And the next day, I was like, oh, let me tell my friends, like, my close friends. So I told my close friend at the moment. And they were like, nah, that did not happen. And I was just like, yeah, like, it happened. And I don't know, in your school, like, anybody's school or, like, back in the time in high school, if you, like, talk to, like, or your friends were, like, a grade or 2 grades older than you, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like a big thing. And she was like, I think a grade or 2 grades above me. So when I told my friends, they were like, no, like, it didn't happen. So she came up to me to see, and she was like, oh, can I talk to you? And I was like, yeah. So she, like, pulled me in the side, and she's like, oh, like, do not tell anybody, like, don't tell anybody what happened. And if you do, I'm gonna just say that you're a liar. And then I was just like, okay, like, whatever. So I didn't tell anybody, just my close friends. You know, I was just like, okay, whatever. Because I didn't think of anything. Because at that time, I did not know anything, like, about, you know? So it's just like, oh, it's just like, it's probably like a friend thing, you know? Like, you know? So I was just like, okay, whatever. I didn't even just eat my ramen. Because ramen is so good. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And, what's it called? So I think like a year or 2 years later, I was in 7th grade. 7th, 6th grade. Or way younger. I don't know. I don't know the timeline of like if that happened first or this new story happened, you know? So I think it was way before this story. Because we were playing Barbies. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what happened. So I had a neighbor, let's call her Kay. She was a girl. And she had a big Barbie house with like a nice Barbie car. And I had Barbies too, but I didn't have like like a mansion Barbie or like a car. I just had like the little mini dolls, you know? Nothing about that. Like, I don't mind. I am grateful, you know? So I was like, oh, like, let's play Barbies and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, do you want to play mom and dad? And I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. And we were playing mom and dad with the Barbies. Literally with the Barbies. And then when we were playing, I guess she, like, kissed me in the mouth. And I was just like, this is not right. So I ran to my house. And then the next day, I guess, like, a few days later, it happened again. And I was just like, oh, like, what the heck? You know, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is this, you know? So I didn't really, like, tell anybody. I was just like, whatever, like, I'm not going to tell nobody. Like, I'm not going to tell nobody. I'm not going to say nothing because at the end of the day, like, I don't know what it means. It's probably, like, you know, like, I don't know. So I was like, whatever. So high school now. I'm in high school. I'm not in high school right now. But, like, in the high school, like, what, 5 years ago? It was like 6 years? 6 years ago. I don't know, but I was 15. Yeah, damn, it's about to be 10 years ago. Oh my gosh.
We're old.
Okay, so 10 years ago, I had...
10?
Sorry, but I'm gonna have to bring it up, girl. Okay, so I had a friend. Her name is H at the time. And I don't know, I was still like experienced like feelings for girls or like thoughts with girls. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I had a crush on this girl named H. Let's call her H. I don't want to say their full name. And at the time, we were like, you know, like, she asked me out. And I was like, yeah, like, whatever. So we would go to class, holding hands and stuff like that. I don't know if it was freshman, sophomore, whatever. But it was, I think, one of those. I don't know my stories, like, on timeline. Like, my timeline is going to be all confusing, okay? So, yeah, so I dated this girl, I think, for, like, a week. Because, I guess she wasn't out yet, or I guess she's just straight and she was just doing it for like, I guess, clout. Back in the time, it was clout. So I was like, okay, whatever. So we broke up, and then I was so confused on what I was. If I was into girls, if I was just into guys, if I was just in, like, I was so confused. And I would blind myself up to the point, like, I would date any guy that came my way. Like, literally any guy. Well, officially, I only had 4 boyfriends. I was like, no, I'm not into girls. I'm not into girls. I was like, no girls, no girls, no girls. And plus, I was born in, like, a religion household, and my household is still religion. And I was like, no, I'm not into girls. Like, I can't, like, tell my mom, like, you know, my mom, my family, nobody can find out I'm having these thoughts. So I would date guys after guys after guys, make out with guys after guys after guys and after guys. And I was just like, bro, like, I literally, at this point, I'm just, like, fixing a broken glass and filling it with, like, you know, like, drinks that are not allowed to be in that broken cup. Then that makes sense. I don't know it makes sense. But I was just like, no, like, you know, it can't happen. So I talk about how I met her. So at this time, I was going through, like, a heartbroken, because I thought me and this guy was, like, serious. We were locked out. You know, like, we were locked down. And, yeah, so I had a heartbroken. And how I met Aaliyah was that my cousin Edith, hi girl, yeah, Edith posted a picture of me and her on her Snapchat. At this point, how old am I? 16? Turning 17? And Aaliyah was 15. Officially just turned 15, I think, right? Or you're...
I just turned 15.
Oh my god, I am a cougar.
I just turned 15.
Hey, she was one in my DMs, not me, okay? So yeah, she was like, oh, like, and then her cousin, she posted a picture of you, or just me?
Just you. I saw you through my cousin's Snapchat.
So she saw my picture of my cousin on my cousin's Snapchat from her cousin. So my cousin and her cousin had each other on Snapchat. My cousin posted me on Snapchat, and I guess boo thing over here was called boo thing, Aaliyah. She was like, oh, like, she's fine, she's pretty, whatever, you know, she's a bad thing. I was like, oh, girl. But she was like, yeah, she's a bad thing. And so basically, I guess her cousin, I think she told her cousin. I don't know how that side worked. Aaliyah, something to tell you after I tell my side. So my side was that my cousin posted a picture of me, and she wasn't with me. I was at work, because at the time I would help my mom work out. I would help my mom at her job, and she would take me to work with her. So I would, like, work, and then, like, at the time I was already finished with my job, and I was sitting down, like, you know, waiting for them to finish their job. So at the time, well, I need to stop saying at the time. So I was done with my job. And I got a text from my cousin saying, like, hey, like, this girl said that you're pretty and she wants your Snapchat. And then I was like, not again with these hoes. What is it? What do you guys call them now?
What?
The hoes?
The hoes.
The hoes. You know what the hoes? And then I was like, okay, whatever. So I told her, I was like, well, yeah, just give her my Snapchat, whatever. But at the time, at that moment, I told my cousin, oh, I asked her age. And I guess my cousin told me she was 15. Like, she's been 15. And I was 16. And I was barely turning 17. The next year, I was turning 17. So that year, I just turned 16. Yes.
I feel like that year you turned 17.
No.
We started talking in March.
Because when you were 15, that was what? 2014.
Because we talked the first week of March. And then I started talking to you again after your birthday. And you just turned 17. Yes. Right, I wish we had Snapchat to pull up the timeline. But yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, so I was like, oh, how old is she? And my cousin's like, oh, she's 15. Like, do you want me to give her a Snapchat? And I was like, yeah, like, whatever. I didn't think of it like she wanted to get at me. Like, she wanted to be my sasa, you know? So when she texted me, she was like, hey, like, she literally put, hey, you're pretty. And then I was just like, oh, girl. Okay, let me see. I asked you for a picture of your face, no?
Yeah.
I was like, can I see how you look like? And then she was like, yeah, like, you know. So she sent me a picture of her. So I was like, oh, she's a cute thing. She's a cute thing. But then I was like, oh, like I'm going through like, you know, a breakup, so we could be friends. So we were friends. Literally the second night, she phone calls me. No, I asked her, I was like, hey, you wanna like phone call? Cause I'm working with my mom and I can't really like type. So she was like, yeah. So you know, like you had the law, like the wireless, the wired earphones.
Yeah.
So I had them on, and at the time my teeth was hurting. So I was literally like, right when she asked her, I started blabbing like if I knew her. I was like, yeah, like I'm going through this, like this. Like I was just we were talking for hours, and my mom would be like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, oh, just my friend. Because at the time, I didn't know she wanted me like that. I just thought she wouldn't like, you know, just be my friend. You know, girls, you know.
Oh, until you stopped talking.
Oh, my neck hurts. But yeah, so I was just like, okay, whatever. And then she started flirting with me, like a few days later. And I was just like, oh, like I can't do that. Like, you know, like I'm going through a breakup, whatever. So we stopped talking. So me and her stopped talking. And then I guess I healed from my breakup. And then like on May, like the beginning of May, I healed from my breakup. And I texted her back and I was just like, hey, like, no, I liked her pictures. I literally liked her pictures.
You were the first one to like them too, actually. Like, that's when I kept noticing that you were, like, wanting me to text you.
Yeah, so I liked her picture. And she texted me. And she's like, hi, like, do you want to be friends again? And I was just like, yeah, sure. And then from there, we, like, started talking again. We started talking more. And then we later on figured out that we liked each other. And then one day, I guess she had, like, a sophomore practice. Softball?
Yeah.
Softball practice. And I said, I love you.
No. My friend texted you, oh, like, I'm gonna start practice. Like, I love you, talk to you later. Or did you say I love you first?
I think I said I love you.
What the heck?
Yeah, I put, oh, okay, like, cause, yeah, so I texted her. At that time, we were, like, already, like, talking for, like, 2 months, I think. Like, 2 months. No, like, was it a month?
It was only 2 months because I asked you out in June. No.
You asked me out in May. So so basically we started talking back in April. Yeah, because April, and then you asked me out in May.
Oh, yeah, because March, April, and then yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we started talking again in April. So no more May, okay? And then on late April, she had a fucking softball practice. And me salió el bichi L word on text. And she would invite me to her games and still have, like, what's it called again? Sawzalls right there. Like, she would invite me and some other girls, too. And I was just like, I don't know. But I knew, like later on, after I guess she stopped playing softball. But yeah, so while she went to play her sport game, I was like, oh, bye, like, you know, have fun, like, you know, take care, love you. And then I was like, oh, like, she's not gonna respond, like, you know, I just freaking threw the L bomb, like, I threw the L bomb, like, fuck, you know. And she texted her friend, well, I thought that it was her, but her friend texted me saying, oh, yeah, like, thank you, love you too. And I was just like, oh, like, she loves me, like, oh my god, girl, you know. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, like, she loves me. So, fast forward, I was like, okay, like, let's hang out, like, where do you live? So she sent me her address, and I sent her my address. Bro, this girl lived literally 2 blocks away from my house. Literally 2 blocks away from my house. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I was just like, I texted her, and I was like, bro, you live 2 blocks away from my house. Like, how come we never, like, bump into each other? How come we never, like, you know, see each other? And then she's like, oh my god, really? And I sent her my address. She's like, OMG, like, you live so close, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, girl, like, we live so close. Like, what the heck? So I texted her, and I was like, hey, like, let's hang out. And she's like, oh, like, for me to hang out, like, you had to meet my parents. And I was just like, fuck. Like, I had to meet my parents. Like, because usually in France, you don't really meet the parents until, like, you know the person. So I was just like, bro, I had to meet the parents before I meet her, like, you know. So I was just like, okay, like whatever. And I went to charter school at the time, and I was like, okay, like whatever. I get out of class early, so if you come out of class early, then we just hang out. And she was like, yeah, but you had to meet my parents. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. And at the time I was taking a bus, and the bus literally stops right in front of her house, like literally right in front of her house. And I was just like, fuck. So I got out the car, and I texted her, and I was like, oh, I'm here, like I'm here. I was like shitty books, like I was nervous, and like I was like shyness, you know, like I was like, ooh, girl, like I'm about to be this girl, like, you know, she's a cutie pie, whatever. Not that she is, eh? So yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm here, I don't know where to go. And her house, I guess you had to go through like an alley, because she lived like in the back house, and you had to go through an alley. So I was walking like towards that alley, and I see her coming out like the gate, and she had like a charger jersey with like some jeans, her hair like straight, like down, like, you know, straight down. And I was just like, ooh, she's a baddie, like she's a baddie. So I was just like, bro, like what the fuck, like, you know. So I was really really shy, and then I was like, okay, like bro, like what the fuck, you know. So I was like, oh hi, and she was like, oh hi. So we were both like all freaking shy, like hi, you know. And then as we were walking to her gate, her dad was like outside the gate, and Aaliyah was like, oh, like this is my friend. And I was just like, oh, like hi. And then he was like, oh hi. And then so I go to the house, like her house, and bro, her whole family was there. Bro, I was like, bro, I thought I was just meeting your parents, but no, her whole family was there. Her sister, her boyfriend at the time, and her mom and her dad. And at the time, her mom didn't like really like me because she didn't know who I was. So she was like, wasn't really like talking to me. But I said hi to her sister, the boyfriend at the time, her dad, and her mom. And I said hi, and she was like, oh, like sit down, like do you want something to drink, you know, whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, like water. And at the time, I had a cup of water, no? And I had my folders, and Aaliyah literally, she would text me, and she's like, oh, how you doing? How was school? And I was like, oh, it's good. And then when she picked me up, she's like, how was school? So when we were sitting down, she was like, so how was school? So I was like, girl, and I was nervous too, so I was kind of being bitchy to her. I was just like, oh, school was good, like I already told you, like, you know, common sense, you know? And then she was like, damn, like this girl, like she doesn't like me, like she doesn't like me. And I was like, oh, like, you know, my bad. So I was sitting there, and her dad like sits like in front of me, and then behind him, it's her mom. And her mom was just looking at me and looking at the TV at the same time. And her dad was sitting in front of me. So while her dad was sitting in front of me, Aaliyah was next to me. And then the other side was her sister and the boyfriend at the time. And literally, we were watching TV, and they were looking at me, watching TV, looking at me. And then her dad was like, oh, like, so where you from? Like, where do you live? How old are you? Like, trying to know me, like, who I am, before she let her daughter, like, hang out with me. And I would be like, oh, like, I'm from here, like, I'm 16, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a point where he was like, oh, my daughter has color eyes, too. And I was just like, this girl? So I turned around, and she did have, like hazel eyes, no? She's like, yeah, she has hazel eyes. She got it from, where did he got it from?
From his mom's side.
Yeah, his mom, like her grandma. And I was just like, oh, like, and then he asked me, like, where did you get your color eyes? And I was like, oh, I have no idea, but I have color eyes, you know? And then after that, we were talking, and then I was like, at the time I had a curfew. Like, if I was never home by 3, Mama would kick my ass. Or, like, she would yell at me. And y'all know my mom, back in the time, she was really strict. So I was like, I had to be home, you know? So I looked at the time, and I was like, hey, like, I had to go home. Like, I really had to go home. And then she's like, okay, like, I walk you. And I was like, okay, like, thank you, you know? So she walks me, and the bus is coming. Literally, the bus stop. Literally 2 bus stops away from her house, I'm already home. So, like, I literally don't live, like, away. I live literally 3 bus stops away. Her stop sign, 2 other small ones, and then my house. Right, no? Yeah. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So the bus comes, and the bus is not coming at this point. So I was just like, okay, like, you know, and I told her, I was like, well, hi, like, I'm leaving, like, I had a good time, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, yeah, me too, like, you know, like, I hope I see you again. I kissed her. I hardcore made out with her. And she made out with me too. And I don't know, her dad it came out and he's like, oh, does she need a ride? And I was like, yeah. Oh, and at the time I had to pick up my niece, right? I had to pick Ariana. So I was just like, fuck. Like I had to be at the school like to pick her up. Oh, my eye. And at that time I think I was raising her and her sister because my sister went on vacation and with her boyfriend. So I had to be a mother. And so I was like, oh, I had to go pick up my niece. And so he was like, oh, like, do you want me to give you a ride? And I was like, oh yeah, like that's fine. And I was like, well, like I hope he didn't see me like make out with his daughter, like that's kind of weird. So I get in the car and we're like holding hands in the car in the back, and then I was just like, okay, whatever. And then a month later, no, like 2 weeks later, I was a crazy maniac, and I'm still am. And I told her, I was like, if you have this time limit for you to ask me to be your girlfriend, because if not, I'm bounced out. She had me out literally like 2 weeks later, no?
Yeah.
She bought me a sunflower bouquet and like a poster, and it says, will you be my girlfriend? And I was like, oh yeah, like, okay, yeah, whatever. So we became dating, and then for our mini date, for her to ask me out, we were painting at her mom's house with her cousin. And yeah, we started dating, and that same day she farted. And I was just like, oh, okay, like I guess you're too comfortable now, girl. Like, chill down. So yeah, we met 3 months. No, we met a month. We met 3 months. Hold on, my math is not working right now. We met in March, the beginning of March. She asked me out in May. So, like Edith says, March, April, June, May. Freaking May. So we known each other for 3 months. And then we started dating. We would have like little mini picnics at the park. We would hang out at the park. We would go to her mom's house. Her mom would like cook for us. And her mom was still like not liking me. And so like I don't know her. She started liking me. And then I started working, and she would drop me off. I would pay for her gas, and she would drop me off, and she would pick me up. And then I would take her like on like dinners, or she would take me for dinners while she would work. And then she graduated. I graduated high school, and then we were literally nonstop. Like we were together 24/7 until it got toxic, and then we would break up, and then we got together. Like literally, when the year passed of dating, that's where like it started getting worse. Like we would break up, we would date, we would break up, we would date, we broke up a date, and then we were like, okay, like we can't do that, like no more. And then now I'm 25 and I live with her. So we've been together 9 years. About to be 9 years, girls. Oh my goodness, 9 years. Oh no. But yeah, it's gonna be 9 years. Literally next month.
Yeah.
March 5th. Well, I like to. Well, not even 9. Yeah, no.
Yeah, because March 5th is when we first.
March 5th was the day we started talking, like flirty talking. She made it official May. So we have like fucking 3 days that we celebrate. How it came out was that, so my mom was really strict. She didn't like believe in the LGBT community. She thought it was like, So I was just like, okay, whatever. So, before that, I think my mom got the hint that I was dating Aaliyah, or I was like talking to Aaliyah. Because me and her would hang out, and me and her would talk like 24/7 on the phone call. My mom did not know I was dating her. My mom did not know nothing. Like she just literally like poquito she started figuring it out. And there was this time where her family invited me to Boomers.
Yeah.
And it was my first time going to Boomers. I had the great times of my life. Never went. Even though I didn't do much, but I did, like, I just had fun. The Boomers, and my sister, I don't know, I'm like, should I say her name or not? But my sister, JJ, let's call her JJ, she was very not believable of LGBT community neither, because I guess she never, like, had a friend or whatever. But she found out, I guess the next year, a couple days later, that I went to Boomers with Aaliyah, and she kind of snitched me out and told my mom. She was like, oh, she's dating that girl. And my mom was like, nah. And then I was like, Mom, like, am I dating her? Like, she's just a friend. Like, I just went out with my friend. And after that, my sister, like, would literally, like, bothered me 24/7, telling me that I did not know nothing, that I was just confused and I was just going dumb. And she was like, no, like, how come you can't just date a guy, and how come you cannot just not fall in love with a guy, blah blah blah. And I was like, girl, like, I have tried it, like, trust me, I tried it, like, I tried it, like, I tried it, like, oh my god, like, I tried it, girl. And if I tell you I tried it, like, tried it.
You still tried it like 40 times.
It's because, like, bro, like, it's, bro, like, just leave it. And poquito poquito, she got the hang of it. My other sister, Elle, because that's her first initial name, she was always supportive. Like, she knew from the beginning. Like, when I first started talking to her, she knew. Like, I told her, because me and her we were like this. Like, growing up, we were like this. I still talk to her. I still, like, but I still, like, tell her, like, tell her stuff, but not as much because I'm an adult and she's like, she has her own life, so it's like, like, but me and her were, like, really close, so I would tell her everything. And she knew, and she was really supportive. And then every time my mom would not let me, she would be like, run away. But she would be like, oh, like, just ask her tomorrow, she's probably in the bathroom. But yeah, she was always supportive. And my mom, I guess, she's, like, started finding out little that she told my brother, who was also religious. He told him to talk to me about the Bible. And I wasn't into it. I was just like, no, I don't want to talk about the Bible. Like, I already know the Bible. I already go to church every day, every Sunday, and I go to Lititos, church retreats, literally every Saturday, every Sunday with my mom. Like, my mom would, like, so I was like, yeah. So I sat down with my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, I know you're anything is, like, devilish, and, like, like, it's wrong, but you know, like, I didn't tell her I'm gay, but I was like, like, I know it's wrong, but and then she was like, no, like, I know, but you can't do that, like, go out with people, like, I let you go out, blah blah blah, but you can't, like, you're not, because that's not right, and that's no de Dios. And I was just like, I know, Mom, like, and I'm not gonna be disrespectful and be like, no, Mom, like, no, like, I'm not gonna do that, like, I'm not gonna force her, like, if she doesn't want to, like, get it in her time, then I'm not gonna force her, like, I'm gonna just let her be, And so I was just like, okay, like, I would just hang out with guys, like, I would hang out with people, like, just so she could be, like, in peace in her mind. But in reality, I was with this girl literally 24/7. Basically, my mom started getting hang up with her because I moved out. I feel like she got the hang when I moved out.
And you told her it was with me.
Yeah, it was with her. Because, dude, I was so scared. Like, literally, I found an apartment. We got accepted. And I was like, bro, like, I had to tell my mom. And I was like, I'm going to tell her soon. Because I was so scared to tell her. And accepted to move out, like, together. I literally told my mom the next day. Like, literally, like, I told her a day before the move in. Like, because I was shitting bricks, bro. Shitting bricks. I was like, I sat down, and I was like, hey, Mom, like, because my dad was eating, and Aaliyah was like, well, you have to tell her, because you're moving out tomorrow. Like, we're moving out. My parents, I sat down with them. I sat with them, and my mom was laying down, and my dad was eating, and then I was like, fuck, I had to tell them. Like, I had to tell them. And then I sat down. Well, this is where I fully, like, actually came out, and I told them I was leaving. I was like, hey, like, I need to talk to you guys in Espanol, like, mix of Spanish and English. I'm a no sabo. And I was like, hey, like, I need to tell you guys, like, I'm moving out tomorrow. Like, I found an apartment. I'm moving out. I'm literally 24 years old. 23? 23? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 23. I was like, I'm 23. Like, I'm moving out. But the problem is, if you guys know my dad's really cool. I love my dad. He's very supportive. Like, no matter if you're gay, if you're not. Like, my dad, like, he will literally support you no matter what. He just wants you to be happy. And that's my dad. I love my dad. And my mom was really, like, whatever. But I told my mom, I told my mom and my dad, and I said, hey, like, I'm moving out. But the issue is that I'm moving out with someone you guys think it's wrong for me to move out with. And then my mom was really quiet. Like, she didn't really say much. She didn't say nothing, like, whatever. So I was mad. I wasn't mad, but I was sad because I was like, bro, like, I really wanted my mom to say, like, it's fine, like, something. And my dad was like, oh, it's okay. Like, I support you. Like, I just want you to be happy. And I want you to take care of yourself. You know, like whenever you need something, like, you're more than welcome to come back. Like, we love you. And, like, we just want you to be happy. And, like, he was like, and then he was like, but you also have to invite us to your apartment. I still don't invite them because I'm like, bro, my house, it's like, I don't know. I feel like my house, I don't know. It's too like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. But I just haven't like found the time to like bring them over because I feel like my house is not fully done and I've been living here for like a year and a half. But it's not fully done. So it's like, I want my house to be done for me to be like, oh, like come over, you know? And, so yeah. And then the next day comes and my dad wasn't working, huh? Or he came out of work. He wasn't working. No. And Aaliyah she had a Beamer, so she like picks me up in the front, and I was like, fuck, like I already have my shit packed, but I had to like bring it downstairs, and my dad was outside, and my mom the next day I thought she was mad at me, and then she had like a perfume or lotion that she had in her room, and she was deep cleaning her room, girl. Once I told her I'm moving out, she started cleaning her room like there is no tomorrow. Because I guess she was taking over the room that I was staying at. And she started cleaning her room, and then she was like, oh, like, here, like, this is, she was like, oh, like, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? So she gave me one of her perfumes, and, I was like, oh, like, I guess she's not mad at me. And then the next day of that, that's where I had to, like, move out. And, Aaliyah picked me up in her Beamer, and, I had to, like, start, like, throwing stuff in the car. And my dad was really, really sad. Like, my dad was sad. Like, I never saw him sad as fuck. Even Aaliyah was like, bro, your dad wants to cry. Like, he's sad. Like, his baby's leaving. And I was just like, don't say that because I would literally run back. Yeah, and so my dad was, like, he saw me, like bringing down with the bags. And he was like, oh, do you need help? And I was like, yeah, like, you know. And then he started helping me, like, take bags. And then he was like, oh, like, are you going to take it, Radini? And then I was like, yeah, like, I'm going to pick it up. But then I never, like, came for it. He threw it away because I let him to. And then he was really sad. Like, when I moved out, he was really sad. And then go over to her house, she would be like, ¿Y la Lía está trabajando? And I'm like, yeah, she's working. And then she would be like, oh, like. And then recently, we went to go work with her. And I brought her with me. And then I was like, fuck, like, she's not going to want her, like, Aaliyah to go down. And she was like, ¿Y la Lía? And I'm like, oh, she's in the car. She's going to wait for me. She's like, you should have brought her to come help us. And she came, and my mom was really, like, really shy. Like, I never seen my mom so shy in my whole entire life. She was so shy. She was like, hola. My mom was so shy, and I was just like, bro, like, what the hell? And then, like, now she's like, hola, mijo, or, like, she says hi. Like, they don't have fully conversation, but she says hi. Well, they really do. Because my mom will be like, oh, ahí está la comida, you know, like, ay, mole, like, whatever. So my mom says hi to her, and then she would, like, ask for her, like, ¿dónde está? And my dad's really respectful, so he's like, my dad gave her $100 for Christmas. Like, what the hell? Like, $100, but I stole it from her because she was like, I feel bad for taking it away and taking money from him. And I was like, okay, bye. And I took the $100. So I had $200. And my parents are really respectful. They never, like, talk shit about her. They never, like, disrespect her. They never, like, nothing. They never did. Even though my mom, like, never, like, liked her, or she was very homophobic, she would never, like, talk shit or nothing. She was just like, hola. Or she would just smile. Or she would, like, make her little bitch face. Her little mad face. But she would, like, be, like, her distant at first. But now, like, she, like, talks to her. She, like, asks for her. She's like, oh, ¿cómo está la Lía? ¿Ya comió? Where are you? Is she working? And this and that. And then my dad sees her. And she's like, oh, buenas noches, buenas tardes. Ay, comida ahí. Gets her a whole $100 for Christmas. And I'm just like, bro, like, yeah, where was this? Like, what, 8 years ago? Just kidding. But yeah, now they're like, they know who she is. Now they ask for her. Now I know how it feels when they ask for her. Because literally, when I don't go to her mom's house, her sisters and her mom, her grandma, and everybody will ask for me. And she would be like, "Oh, Nana asked for you. Oh, Ariel asked for you. Or Arlene asked for you. My mom asked for you." So now I'm like, bro, my mom asked for you too. My dad asked for you too. My sisters, but my sisters like, even though like me and her like will have bumps in the road, they will always ask for her. They will always like bring her over. They will make jokes with her. Like literally, they will freaking crack up. They have freaking therapy sections together. I'm like, bro, where the heck did this come? The homophobic one, yeah, that one. They literally, me and her husband, and well, me, my sister, her husband, me and Aaliyah will literally stay at 3 a.m. talking about therapy, and we would talk about our issues, or we'd be like, what bothers you this week? And they're like, Aaliyah doesn't know how to wash dishes, stuff like that. Yeah. My sisters always, my family, besides my parents, always like respected her and always like say hi. They never like really talk shit about her. They really never like talked her down or anything. It was really like always respect. Even though sometimes we would argue, like no matter like fights or anything, like me and her would have like fights. They would still ask for her and still respect her. And I hate it.
Because I'm the best.
Fuck you. So now I'm just like, bro, now you're stuck. So I'm sorry for you if you guys see me moving around. It's just my friend keep moving and I got full and then I moved my food and then I just started blabbing with Aaliyah right here next to me, just looking at me like Angry Bird. Literally looks like Angry Bird. But if you guys enjoy this video, I'm about to wrap this video because I gotta go lay in my bed now because my head hurts and I yapped too damn much already. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I hope if you watch in the morning, I hope you have a wonderful morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. And I hope you like this video and comment, subscribe, comment whatever you guys want to watch next. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye. So before I end the video, I need to let you guys know. Remember how I talked about the giveaway and how I want to do a giveaway? Okay. So we're almost there. Right now we have 18 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see it.
I don't think they can.
Okay. I'm going to put a screen right here. We have 18 subscribers and 96 views on my first YouTube video. Please, 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 for the giveaway before March 13, if you want to do the giveaway, please go see my first video, make it to 100 views, and if you guys can, make the second video on 50% now. Make the second video 50, since it's already 48, might as well do me a favor. And we are 2 people away for 20 subscribers. Oh my god, yes! Oh, please go subscribe, go watch my videos. Please, 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 for the giveaway, for my goal of my birthday. As my birthday gift, go. Not my family, because y'all still owe me a gift. Just kidding. But go subscribe, go like, go see my videos. Please, 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 for the giveaway. Go do that. I appreciate whoever watched this. I appreciate everything you guys do, even though if it's a little like, a little comment, little subscribe. Thank you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys. Let me not cry. But thank you guys. I really, really do appreciate it. This is a dream come true. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys with all my heart, and please, for the giveaway, because I'm about to do the giveaway. I already have the giveaway. I already have the prizes. I already have everything. It's just we need to do it. So for us to do it, because Alia's pitching money in it too. But for us to do it, we had to do the goal. Okay. Bye guys. I hope you guys have a good night.